I want to talk to you about the worst career advice that has ever been normalized. Fake it till you make it. But before you click off because you think you've heard this before, I'm not here to tell you that confidence is important and that you should believe in yourself. You've heard that. It hasn't fixed anything. I'm here to tell you why fake it till you make it is not just ineffective. It actually makes things worse. And I want to tell you what you actually need to build instead. Because here's what happens when you fake it. You perform confidence on the outside while the inside remains the same. And every time you walk into a room pretending to be someone you don't actually feel like, you create a larger and larger gap between the person that you're performing and who you actually want to be. And over time, that gap is exhausting to maintain. And it makes fear worse, not better. Because now you're not just afraid of being found out as incompetent, you're afraid of being found out as a fraud who was pretending this whole time. Fake it till you make it does not build confidence. It builds a more sophisticated performance of confidence. And those are completely different things. Real confidence, the kind that actually changes your career, the kind that walks into a room and doesn't need to perform anything, looks completely different from what most confident advice is trying to build. It's quieter. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need the room to validate it. It's the kind of confidence that can sit in silence during negotiations, that can hear critical feedback without falling apart, that can lose an opportunity and genuinely believe that another one is coming, that can say, I don't know, in front of leadership without feeling like the floor is falling out from underneath them. For me, confidence is grounded self-worth, and it's not built by standing in the mirror and telling yourself that you're enough. It's not built by power posing before a meeting or reciting all of your accomplishments in your resume or finding the right mantra. It's built in a completely different way. I'm Carla. I'm a civil engineer. I'm a Berkeley graduate. I've held multiple leadership positions in multi-billion-dollar programs. And I spent so many years of my career performing confidence that most people around me had no idea how little of it I actually had. And then I spent a year actually building the real thing. And I want to tell you what that actually looks like. Let me start by telling you the definition of grounded self-worth, because I think we throw around the word confidence a lot without really understanding it. Grounded self-worth is the internal experience of understanding, knowing that your value as a person is not contingent on your performance, on your salary, on your title, on other people's opinions of you, or really on any external outcome. It's the experience of being okay, genuinely okay inside of you, inside of yourself, regardless of what's happening outside. Not in a detached way, not in a, well, I don't care about anything anyways, but in a way that your foundation does not shake every time something goes wrong, someone challenges you, or an opportunity doesn't come through. To me, all of this used to sound really abstract, so I'm going to try and make it more concrete for you. Grounded self-worth is being able to present an idea in a meeting and genuinely not need the room to love it. It looks like receiving critical feedback and allowing it to land without it meaning anything about your fundamental worth as a person. It looks like going for a promotion that you might not get without the verdict saying anything about who you are. It looks like being able to say, I was wrong, without it feeling like an identity crisis. It's the difference between needing validation from the outside to be okay and creating that okayness inside of you. And here's why it matters for your career specifically. Performed confidence is readable. People can perceive it, not always consciously. People might not be able to explain why they perceive it, but it does register. Senior leadership can definitely tell the difference between someone who is genuinely grounded and someone who is working really hard to appear grounded. And the person that is genuinely grounded is the person that they want to put in high-stakes situations, in that difficult client meeting, in that hard negotiation during that organizational crisis, where they know you're not going to fall apart. You cannot fake your way into those rooms long-term. You actually have to become that person. So how do you build it? First thing is to stop outsourcing your self-worth. This is the foundational shift, and it is the hardest one to do. Most high achievers, especially those of us who come from a place where love and safety was contingent on your performance have built an identity that is entirely dependent on outcomes. When things go well, you feel worthy. When things go badly, you feel worthless. And so we become addicted to achieving, not because we love achieving, but because it's the only reliable source of feeling okay about ourselves. The work here is to start separating your worth from your performance. Obviously not by caring less about your work, but by building a source of self-worth that is completely independent of your outcome. It starts by actually noticing every time you tie your self-worth to something that you've achieved. You should start by asking that question: what would happen if this went poorly? What would it mean about myself? And is that actually true? Question yourself. Don't just actually believe your first thought. The second thing is to start keeping promises to yourself. Real self-worth is built through integrity with yourself. Every time you say you're going to do something and you actually do it, you build trust with yourself. Every time you hold a boundary, you build trust with yourself. Every time you choose the hard thing over the easy thing, that hard conversation, that vulnerable moment, that risk that might not pay off, you build trust with yourself. And that self-trust is the actual foundation of grounded confidence. It's not going to be those affirmations. It's not going to be those accomplishments on your resume. It's going to be that lived experience of showing up for yourself time and time again. And the third thing is to allow yourself to be seen imperfectly. This one is a little counterintuitive because most of us want to project this perfection, this look at how good I am at this thing. But grounded confidence actually goes in the opposite direction. It's the ability to be able to say, I don't know. It's the ability to be able to take accountability when you make a mistake, to ask the question that you think might sound stupid, to be a work in progress out loud instead of being that finished product, which is actually something that I'm practicing right now in this moment with these videos. I know that I haven't perfected my exact message, how I want to relay this message, but I am a work in progress and I'm doing it out loud as publicly as I possibly can. Because here's what happens when you allow yourself to be seen imperfectly. You stop spending enormous amounts of energy trying to manage other people's perceptions of you. You stop living in fear of being found out. And paradoxically, people trust you more because people can feel authenticity. Authenticity, not performed perfection, is what builds trust. The kind of trust that translates into influence and leadership. I want to tell you what it actually felt like when I built this real confidence instead of performing it, because I think it'll help you understand what you're looking for. It didn't feel like suddenly everything was amazing and I felt amazing about myself. It was actually a lot quieter than that. And it surprised me. It surprised me how quiet it was. It felt like things that used to completely derail me just didn't anymore. Someone would have critical feedback for me and I would allow it to land. I would reflect on it, and I would respond with genuine curiosity instead of fear. An opportunity would come that felt maybe a little too big for myself, and instead of having all the reasons as to why I shouldn't take it, I would react in a way of, okay, let's see, let's figure this out. What are the resources that I'm going to need? What am I going to have to learn in order to be good at this role? And I would reach out to people who knew better than me because I was trying to figure it out instead of self-sabotaging and just deflecting and not taking that opportunity. It felt like there was a lot more space inside of me. Like I wasn't constantly bracing for something to happen. And I can be genuinely present in a room instead of managing my anxiety of being in it. Naturally, the career results just started following because I stopped being at war with myself and used that energy to actually lead. You're going to waste more time trying to figure out how to fake it rather than building the real thing from the beginning. It is harder though. It requires going into places inside of yourself that are uncomfortable. But it's the only version of confidence that actually holds up under pressure. That version of yourself is buildable. I know it because I built it. And this channel is all about helping you figure out how to do the same. Subscribe if you want to keep going on this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.